Hello! Here we are for one more Career to Go video. I have a very special guest today. I'm going to introduce her soon. But first of all, thank you for watching the video. Thanks for following us here on YouTube. And if you're not following us yet, just click like, just click follow. And every week, a new video to help you to improve your career. Today I have a very special guest with me. She's Dóra. She's also a recruiter like me. And can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Dóra Kántor. I'm from Hungary and I'm living in Barcelona for 8 years now.
Oh.
And I've been working as a recruiter for 6. So I worked in different sectors with medical recruitment. Lately I'm working with IT. It's international recruitment, so I'm seeing people and I'm talking to people from all over Europe, actually from all over the world. And still what I can say is that there are some common mistakes that are repeating no matter who, no matter what job, no matter which country. So I think it really makes sense to talk about
it. Yeah. So it's not a question of which sector you're applying for, which position level you had, but you still see the same mistakes happening with an entry-level position and maybe a senior position.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that happened because, first of all, when we are doing a job interview as a candidate, we are nervous, right? Let's be frank about it. There is always the nerves there. But as I said in a previous video here in the channel that you can check if you didn't, the nerves, they are always there. And we recruiters, we know about it, right? So nobody will blame you for being nervous. So assume that, make your peace with, okay, I'm nervous, I'm a candidate, but we can go over that. So assume that you might be a little bit nervous. That's normal. That happens on a process. But on the top of that, despite of that, which are the most common mistakes that you keep seeing, I keep seeing myself also. So let's just help whoever is out there to overcome that. We were speaking before, and one of the things we said is that people don't prepare for the job interview, right? So how is that?
Yes. I see many people that already passing through the first 1 or 2 stages of a selection process, they already have some previous information from the recruiter, or they have some previous information from maybe the web page. But when they go to the personal interview, they don't present it, or they cannot, or they are not even prepared at all. That's the worst. So it's one thing when you can just maybe not express yourself because you are nervous, but that's another kind of nervousness because you don't even prepare yourself.
Yeah. So you were increasing the nerves when you could decrease it, right?
Exactly.
So I agree with Dóra. Sometimes this happens more when you are already moving ahead in the process. So it's not the first contact you have with the company, with the recruiter, because at that point it's normal that you still don't know anything, right? You probably saw the description about the task, you read something, but you want to know a bit more. So you receive this initial email, or you have a screening call over the phone, but you moved ahead already. That's the point you're saying, right? You went for the job interview, probably with the person that will hire you, the person that will be your future boss, the person that will have a decision about it. And that's when the mistake is done. So what people do at this point? How do they make this a problem? How do they perform bad at this moment when they are face to face with their future manager?
Well, they usually just sit there and they show that they haven't even heard about the company before.
They don't know anything about the job, the company.
And of course, the hiring manager is surprised and it gives a really bad impression.
Yeah.
Because as a candidate, you cannot even make questions if you don't have a base knowledge at least about what you're going to talk about. It really backfires because I think the nervousness many times from the candidates comes because many candidates still look at the interview process as an interrogation.
That's another thing, yeah.
That stresses them out. That
interview process is not an interrogation. It's not like police station that you're there and people are pointing fingers at you and asking questions. Yeah. So how can we take an interview process as a candidate, not as a recruiter, because we are on the other side, but for them as a candidate, how can they or how should they take the interview process instead of a police interrogation?
Well, you should definitely make it as a dialogue. But you can only make it as a dialogue if you prepare yourself for the interview.
If you have something to say, right?
Exactly. If you can make adequate questions, if you can show your interest, if you can show your motivation, but you cannot show your motivation if you
don't know
even
anything about that. Dialogue is two people talking. So if I know nothing about the company, the job, the sector, the responsibility, I cannot communicate properly about it. So that's a very good point. If you prepare yourself in advance, you are less nervous, you have something to say, you have something to add, and that for sure will cause a good impression in the recruiter. I have a question for you. We are saying about preparing, but how do you prepare for a job interview? Because that's not easy. You know, sometimes I know I have to prepare, but I don't know how to do it. So which are the ways to prepare as a candidate before I go to a job interview? Write that down.
Well, there are many ways. I mean, nowadays you can Google up everything. I mean, there are not big surprises about this. You can check the webpage of the company, you can check the LinkedIn profile of the company, you can check even the workers' LinkedIn profile to see how they interact, what they put out there, because it can also give you some very good insight. There are some web pages, for example, like Glassdoor, where you can Google the company.
Glassdoor, have you heard about it? Glassdoor, yeah. The employers, they put some feedback about the company, about their experience. Sometimes even interview questions are there. I have to say something about Glassdoor. That's my personal experience. We human beings, we have this tendency to complain, right? So when it's something bad, everybody runs to Glassdoor and write it there. If it's something good, we might not bother to go there and write something good about the company, about the experience during the recruitment process and all of that. So you can check Glassdoor, but just remember this thing. We have the tendency to just share the bad things. So everything that is there is probably true, but it's not the only truth in the process. But it's still some information. You are digging for more information.
Yeah,
right?
no, it should be a part of it. Like you shouldn't just rely on one source or on one platform.
Checking different places in different things, see different perspectives. Yeah, that's pretty much like a dating process.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes, like when you go to a job interview, you know, it's not only about that the company likes you, you also have to like the company. Yeah. So if there is no mutual love...
Yeah, there must be some mutual love. And the love, you build it up. When, the more you know the other person in a dating process, but the more you know the company, the more you know about the job, you can decide if you want. That's another thing we were talking before. At some point, you as a candidate, you're going to need to make a decision about if you really want that job, if you want to work for that company. So some people take it wrong and they say, oh, the company want to hire me, but I don't want the job. I feel like I have to say yes. No, you don't have to say yes. This is, as Dora said, a dating process, a way to mutual know each other, the company, the candidate, the expectations, the benefits and all of that. And at some point you're going to make a decision if you like the company, and the company obviously is going to make a decision if they like you. But you should be sincere with your expectations. Yeah, we didn't plan that, but exactly. Your expectations, your ambitions, your plans for your career, your even the commuting part, for example. If you love the company, but maybe you're going to take, I don't know, 2 hours to go there because it's on the other side of the city and 2 hours to come back, you should put that on a scale, right? Okay, am I willing to use transportation for 4 hours during the day, 2 hours to come, 2 hours to go back? Is it worth it? Maybe it is, because it's like your dream job and you really want to do it. But you must think about those things. Oh, the salary is much, much lower than I wanted, but it's still okay. Can you pay your bills with that salary? Can you keep your life going with that salary? Well, I can, and I know I'm going to learn a lot. It's really a great opportunity, so go for it. But all those details, right, you need to think about it. Yeah.
Yes. And another thing I wanted to add to how to, collect information.
Okay.
Well, in the era of social media, it's really not a big deal.
Yes.
So again, back to the dating, you can stalk a company just like you could stalk a guy or a girl.
Back to the dating metaphor, I think everybody will understand that. Yeah.
So you can look it up. When I remember that some long time ago, when I was looking for a job, I even contacted with a girl on LinkedIn who I know was working at that company before to ask for her input, because when I went I went to the interview with the hiring manager, I wasn't sure if we could hit it off. I didn't have the feeling
in the dating, in the company dating thing. Yeah, something was missing, so you decided to check with someone that was already working in the company. That's amazing. And that was through LinkedIn, you said?
Yes, and she confirmed what I was thinking, maybe it's just my paranoia. But then she confirmed, yes, this person is not so easy to work with.
Okay.
Maybe it will make your life difficult. So, all right, I based my decision also on that. So.
Knowing that, that was one more element, super important, it looks like.
Yes.
And then with that, you could make your decision. So LinkedIn, that's nice that you brought that, because LinkedIn is an amazing way to reach people for free, directly, and of course you need to care the way you do that, right? Because I don't know, you might reach the hiring manager, but you need to be careful. Just think about your strategy, right, before you do that, because you can also really mess it up, the whole process. You can be eliminated if you send the wrong message to the person. But if you do it right, you get a lot of information, and just like you said, it's going to help you to have one more element to consider together with everything else that you had to make your decision about the job.
Exactly.
Very good. Very good. Which are the big mistakes people do in job interviews? I have done, I don't know how many interviews in my life, Dora the same. So we figured out that the same mistakes are done every single time. So please stop doing the same mistakes, learn about them, learn how to overcome those mistakes and get more successful, get better results in your job interview. So stay with us. We're going to share all the secrets from the recruiters inside part, from the backstage of the recruitment process, to help you to improve your performance in your next job interview. There is one more point that we want to make, and it's about attitude. That's a very important thing. What can you say about that, Dora, to help people out there to be careful with this attitude problem, or not a problem, depending on how you deal with that, right?
Yes, I think there are two extremes to avoid. One is when your attitude shows that, oh, sorry to be here. I'm not even sure if I could be good for you for this job.
Oh, I see that so many times. You're almost like saying you're sorry to be there, to disturb the other person's time, right? Even your body language sometimes shows that, right? You're right, that, So that's one extreme.
That's one extreme.
The negative, the passive, the sorry for being here, sorry for occupying your time, and which is the other extreme of the process?
Well, the other extreme is when you show too much confidence.
Oh, okay.
I mean, confidence, obviously, it's a nice thing. And it's really important to have confidence. It's really important to have clear what are your strengths, how you can work for that company, what you can do for that company.
What you can bring to the... Exactly.
That's very important. But you shouldn't go
overboard.
You shouldn't walk in there like, I'm
the
owning
best
this
one.
company, and if you don't take me, then
you're making a big mistake.
So these are the two extremes I would definitely avoid.
And do you notice that in the interview, that the person is overconfident? How do you see that? Is it the body language? Is it the words? Is it a mix of that? The body language, the words?
Of that, yes. It also happened to me actually that I personally felt like interrogated on the job interview. Like I had the feeling that the candidate is making me uncomfortable testing questions.
Oh, so you as a recruiter.
Exactly.
Okay. The candidate was like interrogating you.
And
so he was the bad cop.
Yes, exactly. So this is again about the measures. Like we said, it's important to have it as a dialogue. It should be a dialogue.
Very important.
But it shouldn't go totally the other way around, like that you are trying to making your interviewee uncomfortable, showing so big knowledge and so much confidence, and kind of like trying to intimidate the other person. It
should be a balance. And remember that the recruiter will play an important role on it, because probably it's going to be the first steps of the process that the candidate will speak to the recruiter, and later on with the hiring manager, with people in higher positions. But if this initial contact, if this initial relationship or dating, as we said before, doesn't happen in a nice way, you might not even move ahead in the process. So it's not about being fake or pretending you're something you're not. No, as you said, know your strengths, know what you can bring to the company, check if you want to work for that company, if you want to do that job, but establish a professional, open and clear communication, this relationship with the recruiter, because that's a necessary step. You need to go through the step to move ahead in the process, and we just want people to get the job, because if you get the job, we cover the position, and then we move ahead with other things. So it's not a fight
Yes.
right? It shouldn't be like you are against me. No, you are together with me. You are on my side. You want to cover that position, right?
Yes, yes. I also see this many times that maybe some candidates look at us as the enemy or as the first obstacle to overpass. Meanwhile, if they would look at us as an ally, as someone who is there to help them,
exactly,
then the whole process could be so much
easier,
smoother.
smooth. Yeah. Obviously, we can't help if the person doesn't really meet the requirements, doesn't have the profile. There is a minimum criterion that we need to check. But still, we, the same way as we want to cover the position. We want to close that because we have so many positions to cover that if we cover one, it's like, yeah, that's it, we're done. So we want to make you to get the job. We want to help you in the process, but obviously there are some minimum requirements from the technical skills, from the profile, and from the behavior part also, right? So if you show your best version during the interview, if it works out well, we can help you to get the job.
Yes, or if not, we can still keep you in mind for future job offers.
Yes, that's good, yeah.
That's very important because maybe today it doesn't work out, but maybe tomorrow it will.
Another position can come and the recruiter already knows you, have your details, have your curriculum, and they can consider you for the future for another position. Yeah, that's a very good point. Thank you very much.
Thank you
for sharing your experience. And as you know already, this is Career to Go, a YouTube channel to help you to improve your career. Maybe it's a progression in the company you are now, right? A promotion, internal promotion. Maybe you want to change for another job. Maybe you want to improve your own company. So all those things will help you in the communication process, in talking to someone that will at some point make a decision about yes or no. We want to work with this person, we want to hire this person, we want this person to be the one doing the job for us. So if you like the content, just click like on this video, share the content with friends that might be also struggling in the job interview, and keep close by, keep checking us every week, a new video here to help you in this process.